It is the signature tune of the magical Mitt Romney campaign. All you need to do is slash government spending and all our economic troubles will be behind us. But when he was asked if the president and a lame duck Congress should tackle taxes and spending after the election, Romney said, "Of course not. It's something that Congress and I, if I'm fortunate enough to be president, would work out, working together with good Democrats and good Republicans. We'll get the country going again." Congressman Chris Van Hollen is a Democrat from Maryland and the ranking member of the House Budget Committee. Good afternoon, sir.
Martin, good afternoon.
Mitt Romney has become the #1 purveyor of slogans like "let's slash spending." But you're a veteran of both budget fights. You also understand the reality of fighting to protect assistance for people in need. So what is your reaction when Mitt Romney makes this sound like a piece of cake at a church picnic?
Well, Martin, you're absolutely right. I think Mitt Romney needs to go back to remedial math classes because the reality is if you do what Mitt Romney and the Republicans in the House say they want to do, they want to say that folks who are making $1 million a year should contribute nothing more to our effort to try and reduce the deficit. And if you say from the beginning that you're not going to ask anything more of the wealthiest Americans or by ending taxpayer subsidies to big oil companies, then inevitably everybody else and everything else gets hit a lot harder. And that's why the House Republican budget would end the Medicare guarantee, slash Medicaid, which helps provide support to nursing homes, folks in nursing homes. It would cut deeply into education and transportation at a time when we need to repair our roadways and transit systems, and, by the way, have 16% unemployment in the construction industry. So their proposal, again, says to folks who are doing very, very well, we're going to ask nothing of you, and we're going to ask everything of the rest of the country.
So when he says that he'll work with good Democrats, does he mean Democrats who don't mind slashing Meals on Wheels for the elderly or transportation and respite care for 1 million disabled Americans? Are they the kind of good Democrats that he has in mind?
I guess the kind of Democrats he's going to be looking for are people who have changed to the Republican Party. I don't think you're going to find many of those who subscribe to the Romney view of the world, which really is a sort of social Darwinism. And I recall just a short while ago when he said, well, he doesn't really care about the folks at the top or the folks at the bottom. The folks at the bottom have this safety net. And yet the budget that Romney has embraced, the House Republican budget, slashes the social safety net that he says is available. It would cut deeply into food nutrition programs. It would dramatically cut into Medicaid and into the children's health insurance program. So the reality is when you do the math, you cannot have it all ways. And that's what Mitt Romney's trying to do. And I don't think it's going to go over with the American people at the end of the day.
In an interview he gave yesterday, he said that he knows how to read a balance sheet, and that makes him superior to the current president in terms of handling economic policy. But again, he seems confused. He seems to think that you're elected to be president of profits as opposed to president of the people.
Well, that's right. I mean, the balance sheets that Mitt Romney is used to reading are the ones that show whether he's returned in healthy return to his investors. And that, of course, was his job, when the job of the president is very different. The job of the president is to make sure the entire country benefits, not just a few preferred investors. And that's where Romney has it entirely wrong. And in fact, if you look at the Romney tax plan and the economic plan and you want to figure out who it helps people like Mitt Romney. It helps folks who have already done very well. And the theory is based on the failed trickle-down strategy, which we know is a failure. We tried that for 8 years during the Bush administration. At the end of that 8 years, we saw a net loss in private sector jobs, even though we provided these tax breaks to folks at the very top. So, been there, done that, didn't work. Why would we try it again?
Some people would call it voodoo economics. Congressman Chris Van Hollen of Maryland.
He's relying on collective amnesia from the American people.
Indeed. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.